Welcome into Steelers Talk Yinzers. My name is Jack Sperry, and today it is Sunday, which means that it is fun day, and we are going to be breaking down how the Pittsburgh Steelers can win the Super Bowl for the 2023-2024 NFL season. Can't wait to break down my keys to success for the Steelers this year. But first, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications for our free and daily Steelers videos here on YouTube. We provide you guys with updates on all the latest news and rumors surrounding the black and gold. Plus, we have a weekly interactive live show where we love talking Steelers with you guys. And then, of course, we're going to have watch parties for all 17 games this year live here on the channel. So if you want to enhance your Steelers fan experience, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me right now. So now let's get into some keys to success in 2023. And if you're the Steelers and you can hit all three of these keys, I think you are going to put yourself right back in the title conversation. Super Bowl contention. I definitely think even in a loaded AFC, if the Steelers get everything right this year, they could run into a Super Bowl run. Now, number one, I think this is absolutely paramount. You got to get the power run game going, especially with Matt Canada. We know he's not the most creative offensive mind in the world. I think the identity of the Steelers offense has to be ground and pound, physical running. And I think that it starts with the running backs with Najee Harris, who showed himself to be a pretty nice power back at the end of last season, really got going towards the end. You got Jaylen Warren, who is kind of a nice change-up to Najee Harris, where he's more shifty, he's a better receiver. Really like that tandem there. And, of course, you got Connor Hayward, who's expected to move to fullback this year. Really exciting times for the Steelers' run game, particularly because I think they really got it right on the offensive line this season. You bring in Broderick Jones, you trade up for your left tackle of the future, who's an excellent run blocker. You bring in Isaac Seumalo to solidify the left side there, one of the best and smartest players in the National Football League, period. And then you got Mason Cole and James Daniels, probably your two best starters on the offensive line last year for the black and gold. And then Chukwuma Okorafor, who's a really good power blocker on the right side. I really like this offensive line for the Steelers, and I think it's going to be the X factor in whether or not the Steelers are going to be successful and really turn into true title contenders. And if you take a look at the receiving weapons here, I think that you got Pat Freiermuth, really nice receiving tight end. But what really changes the game, especially in the run game for the Steelers, is you add pretty much a sixth lineman in Darnell Washington as your blocking tight end. I mean, this guy is a huge human being. He can move people at the line of scrimmage. And when you got some really great power blockers on the offensive line, a great power blocking tight end, and a great power running back, I think that's a recipe for success. I think it should be pretty darn good for the Steelers. So, in my opinion, this year, I would expect to see a lot of two tight end and two running back formations, lots of big formations. I think the Steelers want to bully some people this year, and I think they want to impose their will. Really excited to see what they're going to be able to do and really just establish that power run game and establish their presence, which is something that's so blue-collar, so Pittsburgh, that I just love it. I just think it's awesome, and I really do think the offense is going to hinge on the run game because you can't get the run game going. Who knows how Kenny Pickett would be able to carry this team in the passing game? We will see on that, but I'll get to Kenny Pickett here in just a second. But I think this is going to work. I think that this power run game, you don't have to coach it up as much. You don't have to finesse teams as much. You just say to your guys, we're going to load up the box with a bunch of great blockers. We got a great power running back. We are going to run it right down your throat, and there's nothing you can do about it. I really like this philosophy from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think it is going to have success in 2023. So let me know, will the Pittsburgh Steelers have a top 5 run offense in 2023? Type yes or type no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever YouTube throws an ad break your way, take advantage of that time by answering today's question with a yes or a no. Number 2 key to success for the Steelers next season, at least in my opinion, is that you got to have elite defensive production. Starting with TJ Watt in that defensive line, I really think that this defense needs to kind of go back to where they were last year when TJ Watt was in the lineup. You take a look at the overall defensive stats, about maybe slightly above average. I think a lot of people are looking at these stats like, oh yeah, the Steelers defense is okay, but they're not taking into account that TJ Watt was gone for almost half the season last year. And when he was in the game, the Steelers defense was straight up nasty, first or second in every single defensive category. I think when you have TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith on the field at the same time, this is a completely different defense. And then you also made some really nice additions this year. You lost Cam Sutton in free agency, but you add Patrick Peterson. You go out and get a Cole Holcomb at inside linebacker, and then also a Landon Roberts at linebacker. You got Joey Porter Jr. In the draft there in the second round. Awesome addition on defense. And then, of course, you got Keanu Benton to kind of come in and be your nose tackle for now. And then hopefully he can transition to be more of a pass rushing 3 technique learned from Cam Hayward. I think that these additions are great. And I think that they should have an elite pass rush. I love Alex Highsmith. I love TJ Watt. I love Cam Hayward. I love what they're bringing to the table here. And I would expect to see a ton of creative game planning from Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin, because you got some really nice defensive pieces here like Minkah Fitzpatrick, DeMonte KZ, Patrick Peterson. I think he's going to be switching some things up here. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. And I think run-centric teams usually need to have an elite defense in order to really compete for a title, right? Usually if you have a great defense, you need to be able to control the clock. I think the Steelers are going to be able to do both of those things this year. And because of that, I think this defense should be at least top 5 this year. They could be the best defense in the National Football League given the talent that's on this roster. But I think at the end of the day, top 5 is a really good projection for the Steelers next season. So will the Steelers lead the NFL in sacks or interceptions or both next season? Let me know in the comments section. Type 1 if you think they'll lead the league in one of those categories, or type 0 if you don't. Really do appreciate everybody that puts their comments in the comments section. And also, if you want a Joey Porter Jr. Steelers jersey officially licensed, you can get one on the chatsports.com website right now. Go to chatsports.com/Joey Porter Jr. Number 24 is the number he's going to be wearing this year. Of course, his dad was a Steelers legend. Hopefully, he can do the same with the black and gold. Go to chatsports.com/Joey Porter Jr. to get your jersey today. And the final key to success in 2023, and perhaps the most crucial if the Steelers want to make a Super Bowl and win one, is you got to have a good second-year leap from Kenny Pickett. Now, last year showed some good things, had a bit of a rocky start, but he really got things going towards the end of the year, led this team on close to a playoff run towards the end of the season, really got this team on a nice winning streak, 63% completion percentage, over 2,000 yards, 7 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So not as much production in the red zone as you would like to see, and a 51.4 QBR is a little bit lower than you would like to see. But I really think that there are some things that Kenny needs to work on, right? He can work on the pocket presence. He can work on targeting the middle of the field versus zone coverage. Was very uncomfortable doing that last year. And then I don't know if it was Matt Canada kind of putting the training wheels on Kenny Pickett. That is absolutely possible. But I felt like there were a lot of opportunities for Kenny to be more aggressive down the field, and he just didn't take those opportunities as much as I would like, particularly to George Pickens one-on-one down the sideline. I would love to see that happen next season. So this year, he's 25, okay? So it's officially go time for this guy. You just can't wait 3 to 4 years for a guy this old to develop. He needs to be ready to go. He was billed as somebody that was ready to go on day one. He needs to really perform this year. This is a big year for his development. And with the roster around him, he just needs to deliver in the big moments. He doesn't need to carry this football team. He should have an elite defense. He should have a really good run game. All that the Steelers need Kenny Pickett to do is manage the game well, make some nice plays here on third down and in the red zone, and really deliver in those big moments. In the fourth quarter, game-winning drives, etc. He showed he could do that last year. I'm confident he can do that. And without a second-year leap from Kenny, you can kiss any shot at a Super Bowl goodbye. You need to have a good quarterback in order to get the job done. You can't just rely on a run game and a defense anymore. You need a quarterback that can compete with the big boys. So I have high hopes for Kenny Pickett's sophomore season, but I'm not somebody that thinks it's a done deal that he's going to be the franchise quarterback. I think he did show some flaws in that last year. Thought he showed some good things as well. I guess we'll have to see, but I do have high hopes for KP. If he delivers this season, the Steelers are going to be Super Bowl contenders, at least in my opinion. So could the Pittsburgh Steelers win the Super Bowl this year? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Type B if you believe, or if you don't believe, type D down in the comments. Really do appreciate everybody that tuned into today's video. I hope you have a great Sunday. Really do appreciate it, guys. I will see you guys later tomorrow for tomorrow's video here on Steelers Talk. Here we go, Steelers.